then you escalate that to the level of the bank, then you can appreciate why the bank would have to do it. But having said that, I admit lah, some of those young officers tu pun kadang-kadang pun pegang juga. So even the bankers pun pegang juga. So that's why we have got to balance it between the prospective borrowers yang pegang ataupun yang the banking people yang pegang. Kadang dua-dua pegang. So that's why the some senior people get to intervene, etc. But hopefully not too many pegang lah kan. And in the end, the economy will also collapse. So when you talk about this wakaf, my first question would be, how would that instrument, so powerful so as been, would be successful in ensuring there's no abuses, in ensuring that it would be put to real good use, and in optimizing the real return for the benefit of the others who would really memang genuinely requires this. So macam mana? So rather, it is not only funding, it's the building up of the characters of this group of people. Tak boleh. I like this wakaf things. And it's not you anyway. It's not you. So macam mana kita nak pastikan this wakaf? And that's why education plays an extremely important role. Extremely important role. The more I'm involved out there, the more I see how education is the one that would really be able, in a very sustaining way, how education will. But it's very, very much important for the not industry engagement. And industry got to also come down to that. We really appreciate. So itulah sedikit sebanyak I'm going beyond your question of this documentary.
Okay, thank you. So this is the slide that I was referring to. To see the role, the potential role of wakaf. It could be in the access to financing. So if you have a wakaf fund, then once this wakaf fund is invested or whatever, then the proceeds will be what you will use for access to financing. So that could be one of the uses. But also the human capital development, I think that's another big area. You can have wakaf funds that fund human capital development programs, whether it is in the form of short modules, etc., etc. So that could be what I mean. One example could be we could have another SEDA, right? The current SEDA is part of SME Bank, but you could have another SEDA which is set up based on WACF funding. Right? So you set up in the university on WACF.
No.
Yeah, we have an entrepreneur development unit, I think, but that's under the student affairs division, I think, right? Yeah. So we could have a training institute which is coming or which is being funded by WACF. Or for that matter, you're asking about zakat. How is zakat used? From what was mentioned by the Majlis Agama Islam Wilayah Persekutuan representative, they use zakat funds to help some of the asnaf to go into business. For example, even the miskin. Yeah? They hire them to work in some of those businesses. So it's not entrepreneurship, but it's providing jobs, for example. Yeah? So something like that. Yeah.
In fact, just to share with you, whatever little thing that we had managed to do at the bank. For example, the bank has full 100% Sharia compliance. We don't offer any conventional loan. When we move in 2010, we have that desire to translate the bank into full-fledged Sharia compliance, Sharia compliance, and we pay zakat. And we convened the board that we wanted zakat to be now converted back into training fund. So what Sada did was, Sada approached the board and then make an arrangement with the Baitul Mal, and then whatever the amount of zakat, it cannot be all, certain part of it goes back, and then we use that money to develop the less fortunate entrepreneurs, which we have done for the last 3 years. And the single mothers and all those less fortunate. But we have to really make sure that we work with Shapir, we work with state bodies, etc., etc. Many, throughout the whole country. I've been to as far as Tawau and way up until Kuala Star, etc., and meeting up with all those people in Kelantan, etc. There's so many hardworking entrepreneurs, but micro, tapi they have a share part in the whole economy, so we got to help them. But deep in my heart, alamak, ini sekadar ibadah. Memanglah kita ibadah. But the more important thing is how do we tackle the one which is supposed to be generating, they could be contributing zakat. Now, this wakaf thing, I thought, in the context of the endowment, kalau dia boleh bagi, then that money must generate returns. Because otherwise it will deplete. And then people will abuse it to claim that they are really eligible and entitled for it. That's the worst thing. Especially among the Malaysians, they will give 101 reasons how they can get access to it, justify it, and then about to abuse it. And then in the name of Islam, they will just camouflage it. So this is the worst thing. And we have been seeing even worse than that. So the whole mechanics of it had to be safeguarded. Dia ada dia punya mutawali. Dia mutawali is the one that leads to the manager of the wakaf. The mutawali will have to have a relationship on all the wakaf, all the contribute to the wakaf. And then we go into this wakaf, it's this marriage. Wakaf is for investment opportunity. Right? Don't talk about the other type of wakaf. Then focus on this marriage, it generates return. And plow back and plow back and plow back. And then for those who are recipient, they must also contribute back. You see, it is not much. If I say that, I want you to give me 10 ringgit. Apalah 10 ringgit a month. Let's say some don't pay a month or 2 months, so I get 100 ringgit per person. I am for berapa ratus ribu tadi. Let's say only 10% pay. Now I've already computed this. I can get a few million. I work with Kamil. I said, look, Kamil, let's work out together. Sorry, we are our colleagues. So this can work. Now, I want to offer. I want to offer. So you don't have center. UKM has, UPM has, UITM has, all, UM also has, because they came over and they work with us. Of course, you have unit. The unit should not be under student affairs. It should be under kuliah. So if you have a center for entrepreneurial development, I'm willing to contribute and to help. Maybe not in cash, but in kind. Right? We can start this. Let me make this offer for all those prospective graduates. Yes? We have this fund, it's a young entrepreneur fund. Right? We offer at a very cheap rate. But you got to go through a course. This usahawan siswasan, right? Or young entrepreneur fund. Normally, the program will cost something like 1,500 ringgit for a 3-day program. Now, I can get sponsorship. It's only because of colleagues dekat kuliah economic KNMS. Okay, let's say if you can contribute 200 ringgit, I'll cover up the 1,300 ringgit. Right? You only need to pay 200 ringgit per person. I'll take up sponsorship of 1,300 ringgit. I'll find it. We start a class here to develop entrepreneurs professionally, structurally. Right? And then later, the team can start to develop. Because you need to have something tangible that you can tell a story to some of the authorities. Hey, look, we have started. Otherwise, you keep on talking about papers of people. You have not started. You must have something tangible. I've started. I work with the bank contributed this one. In terms of value of it, I think we want to start this. And we can champion that together. I'm so I'm so passionate about this. So I'm willing to really say, but for those who are really serious, contribute, you can come down from now the 3-day program, the 1,300 will be contributed by the bank and by some other bodies. I'm willing to, and then after that you can build up possibilities. Come again?
I mean, for that cost.
You see, kalau you tengok all the training courses ni sampai beratus-ratus, that one is just macam pop culture lah 1,000 ada 2,000. We don't do that. We coach. Your coach ni small number. We're talking about maybe 35 will be the right number. But you can have many batches, many cohorts, etc. But these are the people, you see, let's say they don't want to become entrepreneurs, they have a desire, but at least you can develop the entrepreneurial mindset. You see, entrepreneurial mindset is not that you become an entrepreneur. You have this courage to be innovative in ideas. You have the courage to be a risk taker. You have the courage to really look at how you develop others, how you develop yourself. That's what entrepreneur is. So I said, an entrepreneur is not only a business operator, he's also a value creator. He's a people developer, he's a wealth aggregator, he's a risk mitigator, he's an environmental advocator. It is a social disruptor. It is so many other things that I can point. That's what entrepreneurship. So that's the kind of entrepreneurial mindset that we need to develop in all these young minds. Because when they live out there, when the job opportunities are going to be smaller and smaller, you got to be your own employer. All right? So you cannot be just employees all the way through. So what does it take for you to be your own? So at least you start with this. Inshallah, this and all.
Thank you very much. I think definitely we're going to look into this offer seriously, except that maybe it shouldn't only be for students. It can also be for lecturers who are going to retire.
Let me share with you. 2 of you are lecturers from IRKA. 2 of you are lecturers from IRKA. They just left URA. They are now multimillionaires. They just, Ustaz and Ustaz, I tell the name, you know, they are our clients. They are into the halal market. And they have been dealing with more than 10, 15 countries as distributor and source of supply. After I think Ustaz make better business people than all these economists and business graduates. So we are giving them a few million loan now.
But Kali, I think what we are saying is that you were saying that if you train the lecturers will train our students how to have that entrepreneurial mindset. Would that be possible?
Okay, yeah, we have another program called the TOT. Because it's not trying to champion the cause to become hero in the program either. We want meletakkan nama rakyat. So we want to reach out to that many. We can't be doing it alone. Yes, we welcome. We identify those serious people who want to become coach, not trainers. Right? These are all certified coach. And we went through certain more training. Tapi untuk yang nak jadi entrepreneur jadi tu, that is a different story lah. Dia bukan entrepreneur, dia jadi coach. Certified coach.
Certified coach.
Yeah. But it's okay, it's not difficult. You're all graduate, you all this coach will take about 6 months or so. Dia ada banyak Australian model, Canadian model, American model. We adopted the Australian model. This coach. Senang je, it's okay. Yeah, exam of what you can pass it. You become a certified coach. Then you are a certified professional coach. That even if you leave the university, you can offer yourself out there as a business coach. Because you are certified.
But we have this HRDM funds. I think that one can also be used at UIA at the fund.
UIA is contributing to HRDM.
Yes, now.
Yeah, but it's meant only for the employees. Now you take that one.
Employees. Yeah.
But I'm talking about our colleagues, our students.
Understood.
So that who wants to do it. Yes, let's do this, right? Let's do this. In a small but meaningful way, then it will, you see, whatever we do, never think that it will realize during our time. So, I want to do something. I'll call it a day before you end. Right, so before I call it a day, perhaps it's 1 or 2 days I can contribute back to this university. So let's take this. So, let's try this out.
This will be followed up. All right. We have to end. We are targeting to end by 12:30 or so. All right, maybe 12:40 at the latest. If agreeable, I will just invite Hendrik to come now, make his presentation on some of these models. Right. So just a maximum of 20 minutes, and then we'll open up for Q&A for the for his presentation, and maybe comments by Dr. Sheikh Ghazali on whether what Hendrik is showing makes sense or not. Okay, so 20 minutes, Brother Hendrik, if we can. So what have we achieved in today's session? We've learned about the role of corporate wakaf, and now we've been exposed to the state of SMEs in Malaysia and even globally, but specifically Malaysia. And we're trying to figure out how the zakat and wakaf institutions can contribute to developing SMEs, right? And as I mentioned, it's not only the financing part, it is one aspect, but it could also be in others. So this is a project that we are doing in the research project that we have. And this is, I think, the output that is part of the output that is going to be proposed by Brother Hendrik. So why don't you spend your 20 minutes, Hendrik, you have to go relatively quickly.
I would like to thank you for giving me this chance to present this topic. Is related to the role of Zaka and Waqf institution in enhancing SMEs towards socio-economic development of Muslim countries. There is a change in the form. Microfinance is powerful. Just adjust that.
Yeah, get the font so that is easy to read. This font is not very reader friendly. Select all.
Can you do that? Then it will take some time.
You shift and then you just go down.
Yes, okay, just be brief. Okay, microfinance is a powerful poverty elevation tool. It applies provision of financial services to the poor and low-income people. Those people who don't have actually access to the financial market. So this idea of microfinance has now spread globally in Africa, Asia, Eastern Europe, including the rich countries, Norway, USA, and India. So despite the progress, about the last 3 decades, the battle is still going, and especially for the Muslim countries. So the models are there, but it's not very successful. So there's a lot of needs to improve the microfinancing. So it is estimated that over 1/3 of the world's poor are Muslim, according to the World Bank and the Economics 2010. So small and medium enterprises are one of the tools of the socio-economic development. Their main role is to help in innovation, economic growth, and employment creation. So the importance of the SMEs have 3 important parts, which is the financial capital, the human capital, and the physical capital. Microcredit is an idea for financing SMEs, especially for the poor, which is established basically in most successful stories in Bangladesh, where the Garami Bank giving loans to the poor people to start their own businesses and generate income. But there is a lot of criticism regarding this matter. The first is concerning with the perceived missing drift. So the mission is drifting. So there's a lot of abuse as go through the processing of giving to the poor. One of them is the interest rate that is charged are often viewed as very high for the poor. The second thing, forcing the lenders to multiple lending and accrue recovery tactics. According to a last study by Abdul Samad in 2014. And there is a growing debate now globally over the social impact assessment that point the real effect of microcredit. Is it really getting the people out from the poor circle? This is highlighted by two studies, this and Kumar in 2008 and Batman in 2011. However, in Muslim countries, the affordable of financial services are not addressing really the really poor in the society. It is okay that some of the loans are given to the poor, but they have standards. So they do not reach what we call it the BOF. BOF are the base of the pyramid, are the people who are really, really poor. They don't have even, sometimes they don't have like an ID, if their ID are expired or something. So they are the really poor people. So these institutions do not reach these people because they have some standards to meet. According to a study done in 19 Muslim countries in 2018, there is 20% to 40% of the respondents cited that one of the reasons that they do not go for microfinancing loan is they are conventional, they are not Islamic. So now the Islamic microfinance could be a solution for this issue. It is promising. It is fundamentally is there, and it's about social welfare for all of the society. However, despite this, many studies shows that there is a lack of the sector is not developed yet. So there is a study needed to improve this sector of the economy. Okay, this study objectives is primary is to state the art of using the Zakat fund and the Waqf in financing SMEs for socioeconomic development. So starting with the Zakat fund, there is the issue with the Zakat fund whether it could be used in microfinance or not. There's an ongoing debate. This is highlighted by Muhammad Hanif, 2009. So we have two groups, people who are with using the Zakat in microfinance and against, the some who are against. And in the middle, we have some opinions in between. So the people who are with using the Zakat fund in microfinance, for example, Qutb and Abu Zahra, both said it's possibly you can use this Zakat fund as loan given to the poor without interest, fair compliance, in order for them to start their own businesses. However, there are few who are with. The most majority are against, including the Al-Azhar and big institutions such as Al-Azhar and Hayatul Ifta in Saudi Arabia. The only big organization who are with are, I think, the Emirates, who allowed using the Zakat fund in providing loans. However, some of the great scholars, such as Nawawi, stated that Zakat it could be helped somehow in making those poor getting from the poorness by giving them, buying for them tools or providing for them assets to start their own businesses using the Zakat fund. Yeah, however, there is an exception. Most of the scholars, the Ijma of the Ummah, has highlighted some exception for them, not using the Zakat in a fund. One of them is Islamic education, and then the training and necessary in providing trainings and necessary tools for starting a business, which is where we stand, according to the Ijma of the Ulama. Second thing, the Waqf, the organizational structure of Waqf is flexible. So we have no problem with the Waqf. It could be used. Actually, it's the main reason of one of the main objectives of Waqf is to help in socio-economic development through the history of Muslims. We have Cash Waqf, which is started in the Uthmani Empire. It is innovated, in Islamic history. However, it is successful. It is agreed by most of the Ummah. The Cash Waqf, we could use the Cash Waqf according to the opinion in Al-Qard al-Hasan, Mudaraba, and Musharaka. So the critical factor of effective implementation of Islamic microfinance is a proper mechanism, a monitoring procedure, and the impact assessment. However, in our model, we are trying to build an SMEs, which has the most three components: the physical, the human, and the financial capital. So we are suggesting that by nature, Waqf could provide the physical capital, and zakat could be used in human capital or human development, and the cash will be the capital, the financial capital. So here's the model. So we have
Point.
Yes, we have the donors. So we have Waqf, Cash Waqf, and the Zakat fund. The Cash Waqf will be in physical capital. The Cash Waqf will be provided the financial capital. The Zakat fund will be provided the human capital. So for the Waqf, physical capital, it could be small lands, commercial depots, and tools or materials. The Cash Waqf, as we mentioned, could be Al-Qard al-Hasan, Daraba, or Musharaka, or other forms such as istisna, accordingly. The Zakat fund could be used for training to provide and could be used by managers who will be mainly poor, one of two of the Asnaf, and the entrepreneurs, and basically used in human capital and development, training, etc. So these three will form the create, sustain, and develop the SMEs. Okay, I'm sorry for the fund because I was using another PC, so it's a bit changed now. So these SMEs will provide production. In return, we have profit. Of course, will be contributed then to the Zakat fund, which is 2.5, and some of the profit will be returned to the Cash Waqf. This circle will be audited and controlled accordingly by one of the three organizations. Or if some of the models, it can be just a control over the SME. So we have type of financing, which is investing in a fund, in sharing business with established businessmen, for example, establish a new business and organization for entrepreneurs, financing small medium enterprises, or create a business supply chain in rural areas. I will explain these. Okay, the donors could be one of the three sectors, which are the public, the private, and voluntary sectors. Voluntary are the microfinancing, Waqf and Zakat. So we create the SMEs. We have four models. Model A will just contain the poor. Only the poor could form an SMEs. The model B will be P and E. E is entrepreneurs. Just the poor and entrepreneurs. We have a model C, will be the poor and third party. Third party, I refer it to established organization or established SMEs. And the last model will be containing the four, will be poor, third party, and entrepreneurs. Going slowly through models, we have model A, which call it the model of zakat for BOF household. So the beneficiaries are all from the asnaf pool. That's why we could use the zakat fund, the total amount of zakat fund. So here, we give some of the fund to the coordinator. And we have a skillful, already skillful pool. Skillful pool means they already have their own business. For example, fishermen, small business of course, fishermen, farmers, they're already there. They wanted to expand, or they wanted to use the money in creating the SMEs. So we have, for example, 3 types of pools. The skillful pool, the not skillful pool, and others. So we could use the skillful